Hello, hey there. So delving into the Sacral Chakra, also known as the Tech Center in Commit. We'll be talking about this today. And before we go into this, there is a mantra that leads into each one of these segments. And so the Sacral Chakra is the second energy center above the root chakra. And we'll be focusing on revitalizing this center. But as we go in, we're going to just take a moment to stop and tune into our body and connect and release. And as we tune in, the mantra for this center is, I pay attention to my feelings, but they do not rule me. Let's repeat that again. I pay attention to my feelings, but they do not rule me. And so this part of our energy center is really focused and centered around this feminine energy, which is receiving energy. It's creative energy. It's actually very natural, innate energy. This intimate energy, or what we would also call sexual energy, also leads into parts of our reproductive system, this birthing energy, right? Hence creative energy, expression around music, art, any type of expression of art would come from this center. And this center is also centered around joy as well, which I think is just beautiful. And the sacral is really stimulated and visualized when we tap into these things that we've been given. Things like our talents, our gifts, things that are helping us to express and bring things into the physical realm. It's really dealing with the different systems that tap into things like emotions. And it could lead and tap into the hormonal system as well, going back and forth and changing as we enter through different stages of life. And so this particular energy center centers around 7 to 14, those ages where we experience these different energies being brought out. And during the ages of 7 and 14, where we begin to experience these energies coming into fruition in our bodies, right? We call it puberty. And this is the time where we actually tap into our own power. We begin to understand that we have power. And many times the gifts that we've been given arise at this time as well. The thing about this is there's an intention that we need to really begin to open and cultivate mastering this experience. And during the ages of 7 and 14, it offers an opportunity, like an introduction and an opportunity for us to really come to grips and start to discipline, learn self-control and management, all of these experiences within our bodies as teenagers or young adults, come online. And so this is part of our second energy center called the Tech Center, or the Sacral Chakra. And again, it's feminine energy. And in this particular place, this is actually central for sexual energy and creation and our ability to create and bring into our world physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, in every way. This is the creation center, and I really love this because for me this was very profound. It's finding out that this energy that's very prevalent in many of us that we call sexual energy, right? Many times it becomes a little bit taboo and we don't really want to deal with it. We don't want to talk about it. It sometimes is distorted. But that's where this energy comes from. That's where it actually is. And when it's misaligned or tampered with as a child through things like abuse or negative connections or interactions, sometimes it could really skew the way that we even feel about our own vessels. And this very natural, pure, creative, powerful energy within us can sometimes become this thing that is of a detriment for us. You can see how that can happen, right? This particular sacred part of our being when it is manipulated in any way. And so the questions that come out for the revitalizing of the chakras are really directed to help with expression, with expressing emotion that could have been pent up inside or restricted in some type of way, mentally or experientially, emotionally, and it could deal with things being held back in this particular energy center. And I do want this to be really a time where we feel open and not holding any parts of ourselves back, emotionally, spiritually, especially emotionally. Allow ourselves to be open to freely express at any moment in time during this experience as we're delving into our energy system. And so feel free to let loose if you need to. That means kick, scream, cry, shout, yelp, wail, holler, dance, sing, run, punch, however it wants to come out. Give yourself permission to release. Chant, any way that it wants to come out. I want you to be open and free yourself to let that emotion, that expression be released from your body the way your body is telling you to. Okay? It's really important to feel free to release the energy that may have been trapped. This could be energy that's been trapped for a long, long time. And so it could be a very emotional experience. Okay? This is your text center, also known as the Sacral Chakra. And so understand that this is a very powerful experience that we're opening up to, delving into these energy centers to revitalize, but it's also very beautiful. It's very beautiful, and it's an opportunity to go deep, okay, to feel deeply and know that we are safe, that we're only exploring what is us, a sacred part of our being. So we're going to go ahead and jump in this next section. And so before we do, though, let's do this. Let's take a look at the materials that we'll be diving into, the prompts for the questions to take us into this exploration. And so as we delve into the ancient Kemet's description of our sacral chakra, it's called the Tech Center. The first exercise question, it's important as we explore these questions that we be open and honest with our answers, with ourselves. Because remember, unless you choose to share this with anybody, this is between you and you. No one ever has to know. And so please be transparent with yourself. Be open as possible. The first question is, am I happy and at peace with myself? The second question, this is a two-part question. Do I love and accept myself? If not, then we're going to answer why not. Okay? Now, the second question is, we're going to write a list of the things that we do for ourselves for self-care. regularly. I'm going to write out a list of those things. The third question, again, very important to be open and honest, is how do I express my creativity? Now, number 4 is where we're going to, before going into question 4, I want to take time to go into a brief period of contemplation, deep introspection, meditation, to clear out anything that's like possibly that we brought in from the day or the previous days, or even to disconnect from any expectations. We just want to go in and clear out anything before we go into question 4. Okay, so take a couple of moments to go into meditation before question number 4. The question is, what negativity am I holding in my womb or reproductive organs? And so that's why it's important to get clear and to get quiet so that you can tap into yourself and hear the answers that's going to come from this question. This one can be really deep, okay? I'm getting emotional just going into these questions. Number 5, and this will be the last question, we're going to write a list of things that we want to release from our life. This list, as we begin to write each statement is going to start with I release, and you're going to add what that thing is that you want to release, and then you're going to end that statement with totally and completely. And so, example, if I want to release fear, I'm going to write the statement, I release any form of fear around discovering the energies in my sacral chakra, totally and completely. Okay, this list can include people, it can include places, it can include things, it can include feelings, or anything else that comes up for you during this time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start working through the revitalizing of my sacral chakra per the instructions of Revitalizing Your Chakras, A Healing Journey by Kajara Nethbet. Beautiful, beautiful work of art. And so I decided to take you guys on this journey with me as I went in to do work, follow-up work on my chakras. Okay, and so thank you. What I would like is for you to actually go, if you're following along on this journey with me, I'd like for you to go and work the number 1. I'm going to do probably the first 2 prompts of each energy center and share an open forum with you, or open dialogue with you around that I tapped into. But before you come back to the second part of this sacral chakra revitalization, I want you to go and work the journal, the exercise, the contemplation around numbers 1 and 2 at least, before coming to watch the second part of this. That way you've already done the work when you come to join in, and you've already discovered and delved into this energy for yourself. Okay, all right, let's do it. I'm gonna see you on the other side. Okay, thank you for joining us. If you do want to follow along on this journey with us, make sure you hit the subscribe so that you'll be notified whenever I post videos. Each of the videos will probably have this stamped on it. I do want to make sure I give credit to the writer of this piece of work. Very beautiful. And so follow me over, okay? I'll see you on the other side. All right. All right. My name's Letty.